Yo, 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 yo. With the Dealio. It's goody. Your boy Mobilarity won 1/5 of Speaker Cloud Podcast. I'm just gonna wait for a couple of people to come on. What's going on, Eric? Oh, we got 3 people. Okay. Oh shit. Good shit. I'm open to any kind of questions. Life, relationship, music, anything. News, politics. Reg, my dude, was good, man. Happy born day, man. Make sure y'all show my boy Reg some love, man. It's his birthday today, man. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe and then click the bell button so that way when he goes live or you upload a video, then you guys can see like it'll pop up notifications whether or not it's on your phone or anything like that. So I'm just gonna share this link to my YouTube channel so some people could join in. Bro, peace. My dude's good, man. We got 7 viewers. Dope, dope, dope. Y'all got any questions? I'm here to shoot the shit. Any kind of questions? Relationships, life, music, movies, politics. I'm all ears, man. Gossip. Let me know. Alright. Oh shit, we got 9 people. Okay. Liking this. Okay, we got 8. So what's going on in the world today, man? Let me know what's going on, man. What's going on in your lives, man? How was y'all day? What music are you guys checking out? New or old? Let me know. I'm down for the questions, man. And I appreciate the support, for everybody that support this my channel, as well as the Speaker Cloud podcast. So shout out to them, man. And shout out to Kill of Apartment 5B, Shisha La Porsche, Nick, everybody, man. Vegas, shout out to them. D-Bro says listen to Gravediggers on Halloween. Dope. Which one? The first album or the second album? Or the third album, I think it's called Man in the Mirror. That shit that came out in '01. Alright. Oh yeah, the first album. That shit is fire. We did a review on that album, man. If you haven't checked it out, um, and the Speaker Cloud podcast, if you go on that channel, definitely check that out. I had a good time doing that. Me, Reg, Triborough, Mike, we had a great time doing that. That was dope. Um, let's see. Eric asked, what you think about this whole Cardi B and Nicki Minaj shit? These niggas on the radio keep talking about what happened to step into a person if they had problems. Honestly, I really don't give a fuck about that. I think they both suck. But I honestly, I actually, believe it or not, I prefer Cardi B over Nicki. I like she has more personality, even though they're fine as fuck. Both of them are fine as hell, but I don't know. Cardi B, she just has personality, man. So you know what I mean. Jamie, peace, man. Peace from the UK, man. Across the pond, man. For real, for real. Eric says I have started collecting hip hop albums and cassette tape. Can you name some albums for me? Depends what you're looking for. Rudy, my guy, what's going on, man? Yo, I had to work on Halloween, man. So it was, it is what it is, you know. That honestly, man, like these holidays nowadays doesn't feel like holidays for me anymore. It's just another day for me. As sad as as that sounds. But getting back to you, Eric. To answer your question, start with the classic albums like the Raekwon Purple Tape, if you could find one. If you could, yeah, Raekwon, Mob Deep, Wu-Tang, the essentials, the essential classics. Start with those and then work your way up. That's all I could tell you. Uh, t- 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 oh shit, DJ Black Hurricane, aka Super Old School. What's good, man? Debo says recommendation on getting into EPMD. What album to start off with? I would say honestly, I would say maybe like Business Never Personal or even Business as Usual. Start with that and then Business Never Personal. Or if you want to start from the first time, because I know some people, um, at least some of my followers, they're not really too fond of '80s hip hop. But I personally, my favorite albums are Business Never Personal, Business as Usual. But if it was up to me, I would say Business as Usual, then Business Never Personal. If you want to work your way under back, go to Strictly Business and Unfinished Business, which I need to get my hands on, but that's a little expensive. But I'll get it one day. Jamie says kicking back with the Far Right album Focus. That's a dope album. I think that's his best album from 1999. My introduction to the Far Right was actually the movie Black Mask with Killing Spree. He had a song that he did with Alchemist, which is also on that album on Focus Daily. That shit is crack rise. That beat is just so ill. Dope movie too, very underrated. Cause I think they filmed the movie back in '96, but it didn't come out till like around '98, '99. So the music is definitely from like the late '90s, and I have the soundtrack too. Born Savior, peace, man. What's the word, man? What's the science? Dope. Eric says I like '80s hip hop. I got that, also, man. Yeah, fucking dope, man. That Critical Beatdown album is fucking retarded. Very slept on. I know it has like a cult following, but it doesn't really get talk like that, anything like that. So 1980 was definitely a great year for hip hop, man. Definitely, man. I think to me, like 87, 88 is what really brought that raw, gritty sound to hip hop, especially like that sample based hip hop. Because before that, a lot of people was like, using synths and presets and stuff like that. But 87, 88 is like when they really started sampling heavy. Okay. I'm about to ban some nigga. Yeah, I had some dude named Green Razor said, can you suck my dick? Can I suck your like what? No, no, no. You don't play that shit here. Yeah, Steve's old crazy noise is definitely underrated. So what's going on? What y'all up to right now? Like what albums are you into right now? Like what albums are you looking forward to coming out? Did you have that new West Side Gun? That Hitler's Hit Where's Hammies Part 6? That shit is crack rocks, man. That Ready Made joint. Woo! Oh my god, that shit's retarded. Let's see what's the questions. Eric asked me, name your top five underrated hip hop years. Dope question. Dope question. For me, um, I would say 1991 being one of them. That's a very slept on year, in my opinion. Um, I would say 98 is a slept on year, because a lot of people, you got a lot of purists that say that, hip hop died in 1997, but I don't agree with that. Yeah, because there was a lot of dope hip hop. It just wasn't in the mainstream. And even some of the mainstream joints was dope. You know what I mean? And when I mean mainstream, I mean joints like Capone Noriega, War Report, Ghetto Millionaire by Royal Flush. Even though they were, I was like semi mainstream, at the time, but they had their videos played, so you know 98, I would say. So I said 91, 98. um oh man, I'd say 1999 was another slept on year. That was a dope year for me. When it comes to hip hop, let's delve into 2000s. I'd say 2010. That was a dope year for hip hop. There's another slept on year. And let's say 2007. I think 2007 was a slept on year, in my opinion. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Eric. Montana of 300. I've heard of him, but sound like one of them new school niggas, man, trap niggas and shit. Debo says Slim Shady LP. That's a dope album. Fucking love that. I just love how raw that album is, man. Eminem in his prime, in my opinion. I'm not really crazy about his new shit right now. Not really a big fan. The Revival album and I ain't like that shit at all. Uh, Eric Johnson's that new State Property album. They came out with an album. Oh shit! When did that come out? Ivan Arias says, Bone Thugs and Harmony Cupid on the come up or Thug Life Volume 1? Dope question. Dope, both dope projects. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna have to go with Thug Life, man. That Thug Life album is so fucking dope, man. Recipes to Tupac, recipes to Stretch, recipes to Big Psych. You know what I mean? It's just a shame that the album didn't come out in its entirety, cause it's missing a lot of tracks. Cause there was a couple of songs that were supposed to be on the album, like My Definition of a Thug Nigga. Is it cool to fuck? Joints like that should have been on the album as well. But yeah, that Art of War by Bone Thugs is dope. Sorry about this is my phone. Jamie says picked up the Prodigy Hegelian Dialect album the other day. That is dope. Yeah, that's a dope album. I need to get my hands on that, but that shit's long out of print now. And if you get it, get how much did you get? How much did you get for it? I know you're in the UK, but just give me an idea, and I could probably round it up. But yeah, that album usually goes for a lot of money now, especially with Prodigy being dead. Unfortunately, Crunchy Soap. Oh, Crunchy, my dude was good, man. Yeah, 2000 was definitely a dope year for hip hop. Ivan asked, Nori, NRE album from '98 or MOP's First Family for Life. Ooh, that's a dope question, man. Um, dope question. I love both albums, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with MOP, man. I love that album, man. But I love Nori's first album too. I think solo wise, that's his best album. Melvin Flint was okay, and then God's Favor is kind of pretty trash in my opinion. Um, Rankin Pug says listening to Haim Silence on Chopped Heron Records, dope new stuff. Yeah, he's dope. Haim, shout out to Haim, and shout out to Chopped Heron Records, man. Very dope. Uh, Rudy says, yo, Steve, I've been trying to keep up with new hip hop on has There have been dope ones that have came out recently that you recommend. I'm aware of the new Cyber Hill album, which I need to check out. Yeah, I would check out West Side Gun's Hitler was Hermes Part 6. Pretty dope. Who else? I would say Rock Marciano and Chaos album that he did with DJ Muggs. That's pretty dope. What else? Whew. Conway's Everybody Is Food. Check that out. There's so much. I can't think of everybody in my name, but at the top of my head. But yeah, I will check those albums out. Eric says no, he's really good. Listen to Chirac freestyle. Well, we'll see. Eric Johnson says no, it's coming soon. Being said in an interview I seen this morning. We'll see, man, because all the shit that niggas be talking about Beanie Siegel and stuff like that. We'll see, man. Ivan says Fat Joe, Don Cartagena, shut him down by Onyx. I'm gonna have to go with Shut Him Down, but Don Cartagena is a dope album. I think, in my opinion, that's Fat Joe's last good album. In my opinion, um, I did like his Me Myself and I album that dropped in '06. That was pretty good. I had some joints on it, but Fat Joe's first three albums are fire, in my opinion. Debo says favorite MF Doom album. Oh Lord, I like MF Doom, but not like most people do. But if I had to choose, I like Operation Doomsday. I like the Vaudeville Villain, Venomous Villain. I thought that was pretty dope. And probably Born Like This that came out '09. Those are probably like my favorite Doom albums. That Mind of Mystical. Yeah, that shit is dope. Mystical's first album. Crunchy says, "Peace, Steve. Been a minute. I was gone and not on the Speaker Cloud streams. Comment section needed a break from social media ish. Yeah, I salute you for that, man. Because sometimes it could. I don't say I don't believe it's a distraction, but um, I think people make it a distraction if that makes sense. Not taking anything away from you. I'm not talking shit about you Crunchy, but I know what you mean though, man. Because sometimes that shit definitely fuck with people and shit. So I definitely salute you for that. Ivan says, "What are your thoughts on Gangsta's More Mature? Is it your favorite album from them?" No, dope album, but it's not my favorite. My favorite albums from Gangstar is actually Hard to Earn, their fourth album from '94, and then Daily Operation. Those are my favorite albums from Gangstar. Crunchy says BG thoughts on BG and Trace's Real Brothers album. Yeah, I did a review on that album, Crunchy. Check it out on my channel. Yeah, dope album. Born Savior says Hot Nights and Bad Boy. Sorry about that. Born Savior says Hot Nights and Bad Boy paying off radio stations in '96 to play the flash players destroyed hip hop. Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, I definitely. Um, Eric Jones, Ren Shaka the Hour. Yeah, dope album review on that. Me and the boys at Speaker Cloud Podcast did a review on that. Definitely check that out when you guys get a chance. Um, let's see. Crunchy says even YouTube, I needed a break and stepped away. Y'all my dudes. So I've been out of the loop of the podcast. Yeah, I mean we got some joints, man. On the podcast, man. Got a lot of catching up to do, but pretty dope, man. But yeah, I definitely agree because there was times like I had to stay away from YouTube too because it has some like annoying ass fucking people ask me stupid ass questions and shit. So I definitely know what you mean. Ivan asked, "Yo, Steven, you saw the interview Insane Clown Posse did with Sharon Osbourne and Howard Stern?" No, I didn't see that, man. I could only imagine how dope that would be. Our Carter says, "Yo, what up, fam? Who do you like more, DJ Muggs or Alchemist as far as production?" Ooh, dope questions, cause they both influence each other. Um, I would say DJ Muggs more so Alchemist as far as influence. But to answer your question, damn, that's hard, man, because I love both of them. I'm probably gonna have to say fuck. Alchemist. I'm gonna say Alchemist. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Alchemist. But DJ Muggs though. DJ Muggs is that dude. I love that dude. He's like one of my favorite producers. So is Alchemist. But I'm glad DJ Muggs is finally getting his just due that he deserves, in my opinion. So Jamie says trying to get my hands on above the laws of Uncle Sam's curse that is hard to come by in UK. Only when I need to complete my above the law collection. Yeah, yeah, man. That shit goes for stupid money, man. That shit, yeah. That album, yeah. I need to get. I have their Living Like Hustlers. I have the Uncle Sam's Curse. I need to get my hands on the Black Mafia Life, the album that came out in '92. Need to get my hands on that and the rest of the albums. But so far, I have Uncle Man's Curse and I have Living Like Hustlers. I have those. Eric says I'm about to get that Prince Black album. Yeah, very dope album. Very dope. Born Savior says, where do you see real hip hop currently and in the next 10 years? Um, I think real hip hop was I don't even like that term real hip hop to be honest with you. But but to answer your question, Born, I'd say I'd say like right now hip hop is going good right now. We got a lot of dope releases. Like I mentioned, Rock Marciano's Chaos album that he did with Muggs, the Mayhem Loren albums that he's dropped with DJ Muggs. You know what I mean? The Conway Griselda. I mean, you can't go wrong with these guys, man. It's just all about support. People just gotta show support to these artists, man. Whether it's going to the concerts, buying their albums, and things like that. But my only gripe is that they fucking charge you an arm and a leg, like kilo prices for the CDs, like $25 a CD. Like you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm not paying that. You got a nigga fucked up with that. That's one thing I don't like is with these artists like, and not even indie artists do that. You know, like $15 the most, but not no $25. I don't care if you're an established artist. Like the only way I'll pay $25 is if it's like like a deluxe edition, like a double disc album. Even if it's a double disc album, if it's a double disc album and it comes with a DVD, okay, yeah, then yeah, I'll pay 25. But not no fucking like $25 for a CD that has like 12 tracks. Like that's not happening. Fuck that. Um, 10 years. If it keeps going the way it is now, I think things will be looking good. But it is what it is. Crunchy said your favorite Too Short '80s album that he did. Hmm, dope question. Um, I like the Born to Mac album. That was pretty dope. The Life is Too Short. But if I had to choose out of both of them, I would have to say probably Born to Mac. That's a pretty dope album. 1987, dope album. Uh, Ivan Arias, DJ Quick. Quick is the name, or Big Daddy Kane, Love the Kane. Hmm, both dope albums. I'm gonna have to go with DJ Quick. Quick as the name. Dope album. Love that album. But Big Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane. That's a classic album. Lyrical laureate right there, man. For real, for real. Jamie says CDs all the way. I don't do MP3s. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I'm kind of the same way, but certain albums, man, I just can't justify buying a CD that costs $200. Like, you know what I mean? Although I broke my rule because there was a couple albums I did buy that was out of print. I paid a little bit of money, but it's one of those albums that would never come out again. Like where you like I highly doubt they will release the album. Re-release that album, like the Terrorist album, Terrorist Strikes, Always Business Never Personal. Um, that album, I highly doubt Rap A Lot Records would release that. You know what I mean? So that's why I had to. But I paid $54 for that album, but it was definitely worth the money. Crunchy say Mayhem is that dude. I was sleeping on his stuff a couple of months back, but his shit is great. Plus production he spits on was with etc. Yeah, I agree. Mayhem Loren is he's that dude. Love that. He's one of my favorite new MCs out right now. Edgar, my dude, was good, man. Peace. Eric says I could buy a shitload of CDs on Discogs for that. Yeah, for real. Definitely. Crunchy says MPT is so convenient nowadays, so I can't deny I made the switch. I haven't copped some CDs in near 2 years. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Especially with CDs now being very expensive now, and everybody's on this whole vinyl cassette, wave right now and shit like that. So I don't know. We'll see though. I still buy CDs, man, but I'm a cheap motherfucker, so I try to get the cheapest one as I can, like something that's affordable or something that's reasonable. So and it's funny you said that because I was talking to Mike yesterday, and then he said about trying to get Teflon's first album, My World album, and that album goes for stupid money. The cheapest one I've seen was 25, like $25 or some shit like that. And there was another one I seen for 17.99. So I told him, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet, cause excuse me, cause some of those albums, like I said, they would never be re-released again, and that's due to the record labels that they were under at the time, or sample clearances and things like that. It would be too expensive to clear those samples. So it's like one of those things, or or one of the things where maybe the artists themselves don't really care for the albums. They don't really care about that album. Like they want to move on. It was like they don't want to hold on to the past. Some of these artists be. Crunchy says the CDs that I want just be too pricey, or I can't find it, so ain't realistic to do anymore for me. Yeah, I can respect that, and I agree. I agree. Because there's a lot of people that got obligations, to take care of. Whether if you have kids, or you gotta buy food for the house, groceries, toiletries. So that's what it is, man. Edgar asks, do you have a favorite Rusty Jugs project and a favorite Illa G project? Oh, that's a dope question. Um, yeah, Rusty Jugs, the Meteorite album. I thought that was pretty dope. The album he did with Kyo Itachi, pretty dope. That was pretty dope. That's probably my favorite from his. Illa G, wow, he got so much fire. But if I had to choose, I would have to say Murder on Throop. That came out in 1997. No, not 2006, 2007. Murder on Throop. That was pretty dope. Jamie says most I spent was 55 on Bank's first album. Yeah, that's a dope album, man. That's a dope album. I need to get my hands on those albums, but his albums be so expensive, man. So hard to come by. I only have the best of Banks. Definitely got that, man. But I definitely need to get my hands on some Ant Bank albums. Uh, t- 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 did you ever hear the Hassan Maki and Apollo Brown Daily Bread album? Yo, it's pretty dope. Yes, I have. That's pretty dope. That one came out a couple years ago, right? I think like around 2010, 2011, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I did hear that album, though. Crunchy says, that reminds me, did you like the Elegy Suede Cigarettes album? I haven't heard it yet. Definitely need to get my, definitely need to check that out. Shout out to Elegy, too. Born Savior says, do you think scratching and sampling classic songs from the 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s is a lost art? I wouldn't say it's a lost art, because people still do it, but it's just people have different ways of, flipping it. But also too, a lot of people not really sampling because people don't want to pay the sample clearances. You know what I mean? So that's probably why you don't really hear too much. But people are still sampling, believe it or not. People still do that. Like all the Griselda stuff, all the DJ Mugs and stuff like that. Those are all samples. So scratching is definitely a lost art. Definitely, you don't hear too much scratching these days. Shit, let alone people don't fucking blend anymore. That's a lost art. Mr. Nate, my guy. I love sampling too. What's good, man? Hope all is well. Edgar's ask, what's your thoughts on Rockness Monsters, Rockness AP album? Yeah, very dope album. Very, very dope. It was about freaking time he put out an album. Long overdue. Pretty dope. I fucks with it. Uh, Eric Johnson says, top five underrated female hip hop albums. Interesting. Uh, Top five. Okay, underrated. Bosses Born Gangsters that came out in 1993. That's very slept on. I don't hear too many people talk about that album. I would say Queen Latifah's Black Rain album from '93. Even though that, in my opinion, that's her best album. In my opinion, um, MC Light's what album? Act Like You Know from '91 with Poor Georgie, Eyes on the Soul. That's very slept on. Even her out album from '93. Oh, what's that album? Ain't No Other from '93 with Roughneck and I Go On. That's pretty slept on. And Bahamadia Collage album. That's pretty underrated. Yeah, that's what I thought. Art. Yeah, that Hassan Maki album is pretty dope. Crunchy says scratches on newer songs definitely needs to come back. Not saying I never hear it, but it's a lot more rare now, even for the respected producers we know making new music. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, Link Q was definitely raw, man. She definitely should have put out an album. Kyle was good, man. Peace, man. Black Rain, yeah, Black Rain is definitely underrated. That's a classic album. I don't care what nobody says. U-N-I-T-Y. Hey guys, what's your thoughts on Smoke Dizz's and Pete Rock's album Don't Smoke Rock? That's a fucking dope album, man. Pete Rock, these past recent years, man, he's just been fucking killing it, man. It's like over the years he's gotten better and better and better. His beats is getting like more grimy, more gritty, more. This is so fucking dope, man. That album is fire. Definitely, definitely. Edgar, have you heard the Camp Low album? Well, not the album, but it's more like a mixtape. But I feel like it's more like an album. The 80 Blocks from Tiffany, Part Two, that came out in 2012. That was pretty dope too. Johnny McDonald, peace, man. Eric says I got her All Hail the Queen album. Yeah, very dope album. Dope album. Ladies First. My favorite song off that album is a song called Latifah's Law. That shit is so fucking dope. Has like a salsa. It has like a salsa sample. That shit is so dope. Crunchy says it would be cool to see an unsung on all flavor unit. Yeah, that definitely would be dope, man. Definitely would be dope. Rest in peace to Apache, man. Rest in peace to him, man. Well, that looking cigarettes killed him, man. Crazy. And I would like, I would like for Nikki D to come out with that album too. Because she was supposed to come out with a second album back in like 93, 94, but Leo Cohen fucking hated on her. I guess says I haven't heard that Camp Low project yet, man, but I'm definitely gonna check it out soon because Camp Low Uptown. Yeah, that shit is dope. Have you heard the one? Have you heard the joint before that though? It's called On the Way Uptown. Is a compilation album. It's pretty much the demo version of Uptown Saturday Night. It came out, I think, like a couple years ago. Very, very dope, man. It's a demo version of Uptown Saturday Night. That shit is dope. Very, very dope. I eventually would have to do a review on Camp Lowe's Uptown Saturday Night. Eventually. Yeah, Art. Don't Smoke Rocks is definitely dope. Excuse me. Put some music in the background. Punchy ask, thoughts on Smith and Wesson's Reloaded album. Yeah, that joint from '05 with gun rap and all the tools of the trade. Yeah, that's a dope album. I like it. It's not their best, but it's pretty good. I like it. I fucks with it. I need to get a hard copy of that album. I don't have it, but very slept on, and I don't really hear too many people talk about that because that album got overshadowed by Monkey Bars by Sean P, which I do have. But I have the reissue. I don't have the OG pressing because when Sean P died, the album sold out, and they just trying to charge like arm and kilo prices for that album, like price gouging and shit. You know what I'm saying? Johnny says on that new South P album, now new South P, I like 4 out of 12 songs. Damn, 4? Holy shit! I haven't heard the album, but is it the production that you didn't care for, or what? Curious. Crunchy says, have you heard E Life's 11 album before? Now I haven't heard that. Yeah, Johnny says it's the beats, but the lyrics are dope. Yeah, that's usually the case. That's usually the case. Unfortunately, Art says, "Yo, that Melanine Magna Carta, that track with called White Western with Rock Marcy. Yeah, that shit is dope, man. Shout out to Melanine, man. Shout out to that dude, man. Shout out to that dude, man. Like that dude, I be trying to put niggas on, man, but people so ignorant when it comes to like UK MCs, man. They be like, oh, I don't like the accents and things like that. But my thing is, if you can listen to South niggas from the South and from Atlanta and North Carolina, then you can listen to UK artists, man. And they be spitting some shit, man. You know, that's just my personal opinion. Crunchy says, yeah, I didn't like the sound of that new South Speed. The beat's weird as hell. I heard two songs and thought, what the fuck, lol. Yeah, that's how it be sometimes, man. You know, it's like they'll try to like combine the new stuff with the old stuff, and it works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. You know. Okay, Edgar says, what's your top five bootcamp click, Mob Deep, and Wu-Tang Clan music videos? Damn. All right. Bootcamp click. For me, um, I would say Black Moon's I Got You Open, the remix. Does a dope video. How Many MCs? Original Gun Clappers, No Fear. What else? Smith and Wesson's Bucktown and Smith and Wesson's One Time. That's Boot Camp Click. Mob Deep, Peer Pressure, Survival of the Fittest, Shook Ones, uh, Hell on Earth, obviously, God Part 3, and Back at You. Those are my favorite Mob Deep videos. Wu-Tang Clan videos. Protect Your Neck. The joint from '92 from the first album. Um, uh, Protect Your Neck. Like I said, Cream was dope. Method Man. What else? What else? What else? What else? Wu-Tang Clan, nothing to fuck with. And Careful Click Click. Those are my five favorite Wu-Tang videos. Um, Eric says, do you got that Bone Thugs and Harmony Resurrection album? No, I don't have it. Crunchy Super ask, Master Ace and Marco Polo soon to be an album. Thoughts on Master Ace and Marco Polo soon to be album. I think it's dropping in less than a month. That should be dope. That should be dope because Marco Polo is fucking dope. Oh, and shout out to Marco Polo, man. That beat that he did for West Side Gun, Ready Made. Oh my god, that's the song I play the most out of all the songs on that Hillis where it's Hermes 6. Guys, check that out. Type in West Side Gun, Ready Made, man. Whew. Like something very different from Marco Polo, very dark. Cause you guys know Marco Polo, he doesn't really make a lot of um he doesn't really make a lot of, dark music like that. But this is like my first time hearing him making dark beats. And it sounds really good. The drums are dope, the sample, very, very fucking dope. Big Trey D, Big Trey D, the third coming album, that is dope. I haven't heard that. I gotta check that out. R. Carter says, do you rock with the group Hieroglyphics from the Bay Area? Hell yeah, I fucks with them. Hell yeah. Matter of fact, I need to get that first album from '98. I think it's called Third Eye Vision. Definitely need to get my hands on that. But that definitely goes for stupid money right now. Uh, yeah, man. Like Souls of Mischief. Like pretty much most of their albums are pretty dope. You know, because a lot of when people think of Social Mischief, people think of, um, they only think of, 93 to Infinity, but they don't talk about No Man's Land, Dort as of it is now, I think it's called. Um, you know, those albums, man. The trilogy, something that came out in 2000, that's pretty dope too. Um, Domino's, no, not Domino, Extra Prolific, like it should be. That's a pretty dope album. The Dell solo projects, Casual's album, Fear Itself, that's pretty dope. So yeah, I definitely fucks with hieroglyphics. Edgar says, what solo Wu-Tang member has the strongest discovery in your opinion? In my opinion, I'm gonna have to say Ghostface, man. He's definitely consistent. Definitely has some dope joints. Um, all of his albums are fucking dope, in my opinion. I think the only one, it was good, but it wasn't my favorite. Um, I want to say is yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna say it. In my opinion, is like his weakest one, and it's a pretty Tony album. I know some people like that album. I don't really care for that album too much. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel like Ghostface. With the whole Def Jam thing going on, the controversy. Jay Z being president at the time. It just wasn't. It didn't work in his favor. So but it has some joints, but it's not something I write home to. I prefer Bulletproof Wallets um over the Pretty Tony album. But that's just me though. Johnny says, What is you listening to now? Right now? Um, like pretty much anything from the Griselda family. Oldies. A lot of '70s, '80s music. Shit like that. Yeah, Crunch, I definitely agree. What gets underrated is produced on Souls of Mischief early albums. Yeah, definitely like No Man's Land, that second album from '95. That's very slept on. Eric asks, what's your top five worst hip hop albums? Oh shit. Oh man. For me, I would have to say Redman's Malpractice. I hated that album. The Reggie album by Redman. Method Man Sical Zero album. That was fucking trash. I hated that album. Um, what other album? Oh man, Capone's Pain, Glory, Time and Glory album that came out in '05. His solo album, his debut album that dropped in '05. That was pretty trash. I didn't like that album at all. And that last but not least, Jay Z's Black album. I fucking hate that album. I think that album is overrated. It's trash. Um, Lyrically dope, but the beats I was not a fan. Carter says, I got Third Eye Vision on CD and on digital. Yeah, I have Third Eye Vision on digital, but I don't have the album, the actual physical. Eggers asks, do you have a favorite Sean P mixtape that he released? Um, I liked I liked the Donkey Kong Jr. album, the Donkey Sean Jr. album that he dropped back in the early 2000s. Um, Master P, that was pretty dope. That he dropped in '07. Hopefully that answers your question. PJ asks, shout out to PJ Hall. What up? PJ asks, what's your favorite Organized Confusion album? Um, Definitely the Stress album. The Stress Extension and Gender album. Very, very fucking dope. Love that album. Very slept on in my opinion. Jay Z, Kyle says Jay Z fell off after Blueprint in my opinion. I wouldn't say he fell off because he still got it. Well, he did. I would. cause that's that. Oh man, cause that's debatable, man. Because like I said, I didn't like the Black album. Um, Kingdom Come was okay. It was definitely a rushed album. I did like I did like the American Gangsta album. That was pretty dope. Blueprint 3 was trash. Magna Carta was pretty cool. I like that album. I know some people didn't like that album. Did not like Watch the Throne album. I didn't like that at all. Um, I would say he's more hit or miss in my opinion. And I'm not a fan of the stuff that he puts out today. So, Crudgy asked, thoughts on April's Lost album. Very dope. Very slept on. Very slept on album. I have that album. The 3 disc album. Very, very fucking dope, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to my dude Freddie Lugo for that. He hooked me up on that. Very dope album. Yeah, Redman Malpractice was just trash, man. And it's crazy because my cousin got that for me. Back in 2001, he bought it for me. Like 2 days after it came out, because he know how much of a Redman fan I am. And at first I liked it, but then as I got older, I listened to it. It didn't really age very well. There was a couple of songs I liked from it that I'll still bump, like Let's Get Dirty, Smash Something, That Bitch, songs like that. But the rest of the album is very forgettable, you know. But that's just me though. Yeah, Chris, yeah, I agree. Redman definitely deserves better beats. Definitely needs to. Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, Redman has not lost it. He still could wreck the mic. He'll murder most of these cats on the mic today. It's just It's the production choices he has, and I kind of noticed that after Malpractice. Red Gone Wild was pretty cool, but it's somewhat of a slight improvement compared to Malpractice. But that Reggie album, oh my god, that shit was trash. And I'm not looking forward to that Muddy Waters 2 album. Like some of the snippets I've heard from it, I just was not a fan, because I remember when he kept talking about that album, the Muddy Waters 2. Well, first it wasn't even called Muddy Waters 2. It was called Muddy Waters Even Muddier. That's what it was called originally. And then he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring it back to 1997." Da 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 da. Things like that. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm getting hyped. But then he's showing people stuff that he did with Knife Wonder. I'm like, oh, like that's supposed to be for Muddy Waters. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. So, Jamie asks, "What's your favorite Diamond D album?" I gotta be Hatred, Passions, and Infidelity. Yeah, that's a very, very. That's actually my favorite too. That's album I don't really hear people talk about. I really love that album. He definitely did his thing on that album. Um, that Stunts Plus and Hip Hop, but definitely Hatred, Passions, and Infidelity. That's actually my favorite Diamond D album. Love the production. Although he was going through some hard times on that album, like I think he was going through some like label politics and things like that. So, you know, PJ asked new refutation of time or and time and space or Blowout Home by Diggable Planets. That's a good question. Um, dope question. Love both albums, but if I had to choose, probably the first album, A New Refutation of Time and Space. But Blowout Home is pretty dope. All right, Edgar says, "What's your thoughts on the album Artifacts That's Them and the 7L Esoteric album Soul Purpose?" Yeah, that's them album is very underrated. Very very dope. I'm so glad I got my hands on that. According to Mike, that shit goes for stupid money online. So, but I'm glad I got my hands on that. I got that early. So I gotta use. I think I got it for like $5 in the wild. You know. Crunchy Soap as Red has released a couple singles on his YouTube channel. He still really got it. Yeah, he definitely still has it. He definitely can spit, man. Like I said, he'll rhyme around, circles around half of these niggas out right now. But he just needs better production choices. That's the only thing with him. What albums, Johnny asked, what albums you looking forward to for the rest of the year? I don't have anything in particular, honestly, man. Um, Probably the Mock Hami and the DJ Muggs album. That would be pretty dope. You know. All right. Let's see. Nate says, been listening to that new West Side Gun album. Jesus, it's fire. Hell, yeah, it's fucking fire. Eric Johnson asks, top five No Limit albums. Good question. For me, it would have to be True album, the True that came out in '95 with I'm About It. That's one. Um, Ghetto Fabulous and Unpredictable by Mystical. Back when he was with No Limit, Mystical was with No Limit. That's three. Um, man, another album. I'm trying to think. Damn, No Limit. Um, I would say Silk the Shocker's first album, The Shocker, that came out in '96. What else? And Masterpiece, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me. Yeah, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me. Those are my top five No Limit albums. Crunchy Sober says, I'm looking forward to Master Ace's album. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. PJ says, I agree. A new reputation was cohesive and the jazzy production was too ill. Yeah, definitely dope. Crunchy asks, what is WC and Mass Circle's best album in your opinion? Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only heard their first album from '91. Ain't a damn thing changed. That's pretty dope. With Ghetto Serenade, that's a very very dope album. I love the album is so fucking that's album is so dirty and raw. Love that joint, man. Eric says the Max Shell Shock, Mystical, Unpredictable, uh, True album, Mia X, Unladylike, and Masterpiece the Ice Cream Man. Dope album, dope choices. You heard of Trouble Neck Brothers? Yeah, I fucks with Trouble Neck Brothers, man. They were supposed to drop an album back in like '92, '93, but it never came out. I have the bootleg version of it. It's called Fuck Y'all. I think it's on YouTube. You probably could find it on YouTube, but it's like really it's like a really cassette heavy kind of vibe to it. But it's pretty dope, very raw. And I know they changed their name to uh 360. I think they were called. I think they changed their name to that back in the mid '90s. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I definitely need to get it. Definitely need to get Curb Serving, man. Definitely need to get my hands on that. I heard a couple songs from that album, so it's pretty good. So I could imagine that whole album being dope. But I know that album goes for a bit of money too online. So, but I do have WC's the Shadiest album, the Shadiest One album from '98, his solo debut album. Very very dope. Born Savior asks, do you think Wu-Tang is a combination of Brand Nubians, Fu Schnicken, Cool G Rap, and Rakim? Nah, I don't think so. I feel like they had their own style, you know? I feel like they had their own style. You know what I'm saying? Not to take anything away from those cats, but I feel like maybe they had like influences from them, but as far as like them being a combination, I mean that's a good outlook of look of seeing that, but I feel like they had their own style, you know, their own because they not everybody has their own flow, you know. So like old dirty bastard, like ain't no father to his style, you know. Coogee rap is Coogee rap, man. Rakim, Brand Nubian. PJ says, I watched all your CD collection and I've been trying to get my hands on that Uncle Sam curse for a grip. Mad expensive. Yeah, it's definitely expensive. Very expensive, man. Yeah, I got lucky with that because shout out to my dude John Dixon, man. He hooked me up. He's like, yo, he hooked me up on that. So big shout out to him. Word. Mark Jags, peace to Mark Jag. He says, do you listen to French Montana? No, I don't like him at all. The only thing I ever liked from French Montana was when he did the Sub Zero series, the DVD series he did back in the 2000s, Cocaine City. That's the only thing French Montana that he did that I like. Excuse me. What is an MC and producer dream team album you have? Oh, dope, man. That's a dope question. Man, I would have loved a Killer Sin and True Master album to come out. That would have been, especially around like 97, 98. Oh my god. Or even 96, man. Oh my god, that would have been fucking dope. Alright, Jamie, peace, man. Peace to you, man. Thanks for the questions. Thank you, yeah, thanks for the questions. Thank you for chiming in. For real. Until next time, dude. Yeah, I would say like, yeah, Killer Sin and True Master doing an album together around like 96 to like 98. Shabazz the Disciple, another album. Shabazz and True Master, another dope. Um, what else? What else? MOP, Smooth the Hustle and Trigger the Gambler with all DR period beats around like 96, 97, or even 98 with all DR period beats. You know, very dope, man. Nate asks, what do you think is the best Above the Law LP? Yeah, I'll have to say Uncle Man's Curse in my opinion. And then my second favorite from them would be Black Man's Curse. You know, very dope albums, man. Johnny asks, how do you save your music on? How do you save your music on your computer or a hard drive? Um, yeah, definitely a hard drive. I have two hard drives, so just in case, cause you never know. Yeah, Crush. Yeah, I'm glad you like that, man. Because yeah, definitely, man. PJ says, your thoughts on why doesn't Common Rush Music get more respect with the other albums from the golden era? That's a good question. I don't know why, man. I think a lot of people still feel salty for that "I Used to Love Her" song. I think people still feels a little salty about that. And thank you for reminding me because I have to do a review on that album. So I definitely would definitely do a review on that, man. One of these days, So thanks for inspiring me for that idea because I'm definitely gonna do a review on that album because I did a review on his first album on Can I Borrow $1, which is another slept on album. That was a dope album. My only gripe was I kind of wished that the Soap by the Pound the remix was on the album instead of the album version because I didn't like the album version. The album version kind of felt incomplete. The remix song, the video version that everybody loves, was that version was on the album. Um, but yeah, getting back to Resurrection, I definitely got to do a review on that album, man. Mark Jackson says, I watched Ghost Dog last night. Very dope movie and soundtrack. Yeah, yeah, very dope movie. Very slept. I actually saw that movie in theaters when it came out in 1999. Dope soundtrack too. I got the soundtrack as well. I want to get the Japanese version with the score. Definitely get my hands on that. Nate says yes. MOP and Smooth and Trigger the Gambler, all produced by DR Pro, would be fire even today. Yeah, that would definitely be dope. DR Pro is definitely underrated. Agus says, what do you prefer, the first two Capone Noriega albums or the first two Killer Army albums? Ooh, dope question, man. Ooh, dope question. If I had to choose, I would have to say the first two Capone Noriega albums, man. You know what I mean? I love the production on that album. I don't know, the production on those two albums are dope. Love the first Killer Army album. The second album was cool. It just wasn't the production. I feel like could have been a little bit more stronger compared to the first album, but but the second album, Dirty Weaponry, was pretty dope. But that first album, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, fucking dope, man. I love that joint, man. Crunchy says, comments, Can I Borrow a Dollar gets even less respect. Yeah, people don't like that album. And a lot of people gotta understand too, you know, oh shit. Got the Mob Deep in the background. Rest in peace to Prodigy. Today's his birthday. He would have been 44 years old today, man. So sad, man. One of my favorite MCs of all time. Playing the Drink Away the Pain in the background. But anyways, getting back to Can I Borrow a Dollar? What people gotta understand too, at that time, Common, he had a speech impediment. So that's why, like, when he started his verse, he kind of had a high pitched voice, like that shit. You know what I mean? So that was something that he was working on. But then the second album, he definitely, definitely stepped his game up on that. So you know what I mean? So Mark Jackson, I wish you would review some K Reno albums. Yeah, in time, man. But I got a lot of albums that I want to review myself. The K Renos, I'm just gonna have to put in the back burner. But eventually, not now though. Johnny says, "What's your thoughts on the new Ice Cube album that's coming out on December 2nd or December 9th?" I mean, I haven't really been interested in Ice Cube album, man. Honestly, like that, you know. I haven't really heard his newer, his more later albums past War and Peace Volume 2, which was trash. I actually prefer the first four albums, and the War and Peace Volume 1, Disc 1. That Volume 1 actually grew on me. I mean, it's not his best. That's when he started going commercial, but it has some decent joints on that album. But it took me a while to get used to. I have to say that, to say the least. Oh, and how can I forget the West Side Connection Bad Out album from '96? Can't go wrong with that. Let's see what else. Egg asks, what do you prefer, the first two Group Home albums or the first two Lost Boys albums? Dope question. I'm gonna have to say the two Lost Boy albums, man. Um, Group Home, the Living Proof album, is so fucking dope, man. Really, 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 really dope album. The album is so fucking dope. The second album, Eternal the Ghetto, is okay. It's not their best. It's okay. You know what I mean? That's when they kind of broke away against Primo. They started doing their own thing. I think around that time they were messing with Agala and stuff like that, using other like in-house producers. But that one was okay. It wasn't the best, but Living Proof is their best album, obviously. Um, the first two Lost Boy albums, man, Legal Drug Money, Love, Peace, and Happiness. I mean, those hometown heroes, man. I mean, from Queens. I'm from Queens, so the album is just so fucking fire, man. I really love that. Love those two albums, man. Those albums bring me back to my high school days. Definitely, man. Especially around like 2001, 2002. Definitely dope, man. PJ asked the main ingredient of making a soul brother. I always go back and forth on this. For me, main ingredient for me, I love the production on the album. I like the more mature production. Love the sample choices on the album. You know what I mean? Because when I first started making the Soul Brother, it didn't really grab me like that. It took me some time to listen to, and I do have a new appreciation for it. It's a very dope album. It's a classic album in my opinion. But the main ingredient for me, I really love that album, man. Pete Rock's production on the album is just so fucking dope. I wish I was a fly in the studio just for those sessions, man. Just him making the beats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But Mecca and the Soul Brother is definitely raw. It's like a lot. It's a lot more raw. But that's a dope one. That's like my second favorite album for them. Crunchy says, "Love, Peace, and Happiness is about as good as Legal Drug Money in my book." Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Love, Peace, and Happiness is very slept on. Shit, those two albums are slept on. Very slept on. You know what I mean? Especially Love, Peace, and Happiness. I rarely hear people talk about that album. Let alone Lost Boys. People don't talk about them. Like, I think that's something you would have to appreciate. Like, unless you grew up in New York or you grew up in the 90s or something, you know? Edgar says, yeah, man, I agree. Those first two Lost Boys albums are classic status for sure. But those first two group home albums are amazing as well. Yeah, most definitely. Who had the stronger discography, MOP or Onyx? That's a dope question. I would have to say, MOP, man, honestly, because Onyx, they're very hit or miss for me. Like, love their first three albums. Love their first three albums. Back the fuck up. All we got is us and shut them down was I think is very slept on. You know what I mean? But but after that when they came out with Back the Fuck Up Part Two and what's that other album? Trigonometry and all that shit. I was like, get the fuck out of with that shit. Although I did not hear Trigonometry, so I can't really judge it, but I didn't really hear good things about that album, so I'm not surprised. But the album they did with Snow Goons, Wake the Fuck Up, that was pretty dope too. But I would advise you guys to stay away from the album. It wasn't really an official album. I don't even think it was an official album. It was called Turn the Fuck Up, which it uses like I think like EDM type beats or trap beats. Like I don't recommend that at all. I think it says something about that album that wasn't really an official album. So don't even fuck with that. Yeah, I have to play the tunes Crunchy, Drink Away in the Pain in the background. Nice. Yeah, definitely had a blessed people. You know what I mean? Marj says, "How big would Big L have been if he would have lived?" Oh, how big would Big L would have been if he had been alive? Um, that's a good question, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I think he would have been big, but I think he would have been given like the same light as they did. Because he was supposed to sign with Rockefeller Records, and when MOP signed with Rockefeller, they didn't do shit with them. So I think Big L probably would have been given the same treatment as that, as MOP. Honestly, you know. But that's just my opinion. PJ says, yeah, Mecca didn't grab as quickly as main ingredient did. The technique sounded more positive on main ingredient, in my opinion. Definitely, I definitely agree with you, PJ. Yeah, the production is definitely on main ingredient is a lot more polished, but it's still dope in my opinion, man. But Mecca definitely, like I said, that album grew on me, but it's a dope album nonetheless, though, man. I really enjoyed those two albums. I did a review on both albums, man. Definitely check it out when you get a chance. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Ashton asks, have you heard Mystical's Let's Get Ready album? No, I haven't heard that album. That's the one with Shake Your Ass and Danger. I didn't hear that, which is my introduction to Mystical. But Mystical's first three albums, man, The Mind of Mystical, um, Unpredictable, and Ghetto Fabulous. Those albums are fucking dope. Crunchy says I also like the LB for Life album. I revisited recently and had some bangers, but it's not no skip like the first two though. Yeah, I agree with that. That album was actually my introduction to LB Lost Boys, and I actually knew some cats that were part of the gang too, cause the LB Lost Boys was actually a gang too that was affiliated with the Bloods and shit back in the '90s. Um, but yeah, man, I fucking yeah that album was dope though. Ghetto Jiggy, Take One. Oh my god, I fucking love that song. Love that joint. Excuse me. Johnny asks, "What's your go-to album when you're pissed?" Mine's is N.W.A. Um, which album, Johnny? Which N.W.A album? I'd like to know. I don't have a specific. I don't have a specific album that I listen to when I'm pissed off. I just listen to music. Overall. Oh, speaking of, got a Extension Agenda playing in the background by Organizers Confusion. Oh man. Yeah, I don't have a specific album that I go to. I just listen to whatever music. Oh, the first one. Okay, okay, okay. I respect that. Edgar says, "Who had the stronger discography, EPMD or Gangstar?" For me, Gangstar, man. Like, although their No More Mr. Nice Guy album wasn't really their best album, it was okay. But Primo at the time didn't have that. They didn't have that signature Primo sound that that they're known for. To me, they became strong when they dropped their second album, Stepping in the Arena, which I think is a very slept on album. That's actually my third favorite gangster album, man. So like I said, Hard to Earn is my first, Daily Operation being my second favorite, Stepping in the Arena my third favorite, then Moment of Truth, then The Owners, and then No More Mr. Nice Guy. Alpha seen her, my man looking good. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Crunchy says, I think Mecca's production is about as good as it's just as good, just different aim by Pete compared to main ingredient. Main ingredient is jazzy and smoother. Mecca is a grittier boom bap sound. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely like more raw, in my opinion. Uh, Cannabis. Oh, Jamal, peace, man. What up, man? What's good, man? Uh, Cannabis says Mecca and the Soul Brother was Pete's coming out party as an all time great hip hop producer. The intro to the beat, the intro to the beat to the basement is Pete's greatest beats ever, in my opinion. Yeah, I definitely respect that, man. Definitely respect that. Very true. You know what I mean? I feel like he made better beats than that, but I definitely agree. I definitely respect your opinion, though. Edgar asks, whose album do you prefer, Redman or Busta Rhymes? Mm, it's a good question, man. Ooh, I'm gonna have to say Redman's, man. Just on the strength of his first four albums for me. But Busta Rhymes comes close though, because Busta Rhymes' first four albums, oh my fucking god, so fucking dope. Edgar says, I gotta give it to Gangstar. Gets the edge. GS Gangstar's last two albums were stronger than EPMD's last two. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that because I would say after Business Never Personal, when they dropped the Back in Business album, that was okay. It was a little light in the ass, like my dude Kill would say. Um, Yo, Reg, would you like to join? You want to join? If you're not busy, if not, just let me know, brother. All right, let me see if I could see something. All right, just send it through Hangouts. Let's see something. I've never done this shit before, so bear with me, guys. Trying to send a. Hopefully, I did it right. What that happens? Reg asks if I like Neil Young. I haven't heard his music to give a like an honest opinion. So, all right, Reg, no doubt. Ashton asks, "What's your thoughts on that hip hop group UNLV from up New Orleans?" Um, I haven't heard their music though. I know that was a group that was beefing with Mystical because they were part of Cash Money. I think they were called Uptown Niggas Living Violent. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what the title. That's what the acronym for UNLV stands for. But I know they were down with Cash Money. But yeah, I haven't heard their music to keep it a bug with you. But I would like to hear it though. Favorite Redman verse, guest verse. Ooh, dope question. Um, one of my favorites by Redman. Ooh, this is a dope question. Uh, Nothing but a gangster was pretty dope. The joint he did with that joint he did with MC8's album, the We Got Strapped album. That joint that was a dope guest verse from him. Um, Trying to think what else. Guest verse. His verse on the points with Biggie, Buckshot on the Panther soundtrack, the Black Panther soundtrack, the Panther soundtrack that came out in '95. Crunchy says I prefer Reds, but that's just preference. That's for preference sake, and that E double Rockwaller sound. Yeah, definitely, man. Let me see something. All right, all right. The Edgar says the second N.W.A album, Niggas for Life, is a masterpiece, and in my opinion, it's even better than Straight Outta Compton. But that's just me. It's West Coast, but it has a gritty East Coast feel. Yeah, I agree, man. That's my favorite album for them. That album and 100 Miles of Running album EP. I should say. Excuse me. I think is that as a group is their best material. But a lot of people fucking get butthurt because of the lyrics that it's they say it's like, oh, it's too misogynistic and blah 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 blah. But compared to the shit that's out now, it's tame to nowadays. I agree. It can be a bit misogynistic. I get it, but it's entertainment at the end of the day. So pull your skirt down and relax. You know. But yeah, I fucking love that album. Johnny says, "Who your favorite underground rapper? E40, Mac 10, Brother Lynch Hung, Sibo." Out of those people, I would have to say Brother Lynch Hung and Sibo, man. That's just me personally. Crunchy says, "I gotta say, Sibo's discovery is underrated. Some, yeah, it's definitely underrated." Um, Cannabis says, "I think one of the biggest strategies of the '90s was Rampage's record October Not Dropping. Every song on that project was tough, lyrics and production." Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, man. That should have came out. I would love a hard copy of that album, but it only came out on digital, unfortunately. But it's better than nothing. PJ says, oh my god, I destroy cities like the Blob. What underrated feature? Yeah, man. Woo. Asher says my first favorite Redman album is There Is a Dark Side. Yeah, I love that album, man. People hate on that album, but I fucking love it, man. Very creative. Redman is creative, form. You know, definitely one of his most creative. It's not his creative album, but at the time, he was going through a lot of shit. His boy Rockefeller died. He was heavy into drugs, at that time. You know, so a lot of times people, they just, I don't know, whatever. Rest says my wife is acting. All right, no doubt, man. I no doubt. PJ says Easy Mo B deserves way more props for his production. Criminally underrated producer, Busta Rhymes, everything remains raw. Listen to twice a day. Yo, that's dope, man. That's like one of his best songs, man. That's one of my favorite Busta Rhymes songs, and that beat is fucking crazy, man. I love that joint. Yeah, Mo B is an all time great. Humble brother. He followed me back on Twitter. Good dude. Oh shit, that's dope. Edgar says, whose album do you prefer? Keith Murray, Method Man. Oh, Method Man. Just on the strength of his first two albums, man. Fucking dope. Dope, 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 dope. Cannabis says, Easy Mo B is definitely an all time great. He is in my top 10. I listen to LL Cool J, LL's Pink Cookies at least 3 times a week. That Esther Phillips sample is euphoric. Yeah, that shit is dope, man. I wish that version was on the album. I love that album, the 40 Shots to the Dome album, that people love to hate. I don't know why, but I thought it was a dope album. But, to me, this is missing out, in my opinion. Alright. Alright. Um, I guess, who's your favorite character and what's your favorite scene in Belly? Um, I like DMX, man. I like Buns, man. He was a wild nigga, son. Love that shit, man. One of my favorite scenes in Belly was when Nas went to Rochdale Village, and those are not projects, but those are co-ops. But and it's funny because I used to live like 10 to 15 minutes, like 10 minutes away from Rochdale. Because Rochdale and Springfield Gardens is like right there. So I used to live like right there. But anyways, that the scene when he went to Rochdale projects, but like I said, those are not projects; those are co-ops. And he when he was talking to the little shorty and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like him talking on the bench and shit like that, him smoking weed and shit with the little kid and shit. Just Nas giving him gems and shit. I thought that was a very powerful scene. I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people like to hate on Belly, because of the acting. And my thing is this, man. Like, you don't watch the movie for, Academy Award winning acting. You see it for the performers, for the MCs that you see them. Like, you pretty much you watch the movie because you want to see your favorite rapper act. Like I said, they're not the best in the world, but I thought they did that. DMX, I think, did his thing. Nas was okay, you know. But I feel like they were being themselves, so that's what it was. So, they never acted before. You gotta give them that. You know, the cinematography of that movie was dope. The soundtrack is dope. Like everything about it is dope. And I feel like those people that hate on Belly are either not from New York or they're not about that life. It's one of the two. So, and people all over YouTube shit on that movie, man, and I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? But I bet if it was like Kendrick Lamar or all these fucking whack ass rappers out today, niggas will fucking praise that movie. So, I mean, go figure. These are people. These are people that call Kendrick Lamar Kenzel just because he played a Dominican crackhead on Power. And he really wasn't. Yeah, he really wasn't that good. You know. But that's just me though. Uh, I prefer Crunchy says I prefer what the over it because its production is more funky, fun, and party ish. Boom Bap with there's the dark side. Rad sounds better over that kind of production. Yeah, I feel you on that. But what the album it had like more like EPMD influence. You know what I mean? And I love what the album, but for me there was a dark side. It was something about that album that kind of captivated me. But I definitely respect your opinion, Crunchy. But what the album, um, pretty much the first three albums, those are my favorite albums from Redman, man. But there's no right or wrong answer though. But both albums are dope, man. What the album is very dope. I do agree he does sound more like inspired on what the album just based on the production. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. But no, overall, you can't go wrong with any album, honestly. Red says best Sean P album. Dope question. There's a couple for me. Monkey Bars for me. Mike Tyson and Imperious Rex. I think those three albums are his best albums in my opinion. PJ says the most beautiful thing in the world album was tough. Yeah, that's a very slept on album in my opinion. I don't really hear too many people talk about that album. Ashton said facts, man. Easy Mo B is always getting slept on. My favorite Easy Mo B is Tupac's If I Died Tonight. Very, very dope song, man. I love that joint, man. Tupac went in on that. Uh, Edgar asked, I gotta go with Method Man's character Shamik. That shootout with Rico's crew was crazy. Ghostface was the getaway driver as well. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, he had some stupid ass niggas asking, "Oh, how did Method Man just get? How did he get shot?" And he just walked off because nigga he had a bulletproof vest. Duh. Like how stupid can you be? Duh. Retarded, man. Let's see. PJ says, what do you rank Outkast's first three albums? I always felt like Southern Playlistic was their best. Raw Southern hip hop. Hmm. Okay. I can see that. What do I rank their first three albums? Which are my favorites actually? But well, actually the first two are my favorites. But to answer your question, PJ, I rank AT Aliens as number one. The reason why is because I love the dark sound of AT Aliens. I felt like they found their sound on AT Aliens. Also, even though they had their sound in the first album, but I felt like, and I love the fact that they started making their own beats too, which I thought was dope. But yeah, ATL is number one. Southern Playlistic is number two, and then Aquemini is number three. Ashton says, "I thought the movie Belly was dope. Yeah, I thought it was dope too. But you can't please everybody. Let's see. Uh, Johnny says both Belly movie is dope. If you refer to the game movie, no, hell no, I hated that shit. That was trash, dude. But I respect your opinion though. Crunchy says, Southern Playlistic is also the best in my opinion, PJ, or at least my favorite. Yeah, like I said, no wrong answer. All dope albums. Let's see. Edgar asks, whose discography do you prefer? Ghetto Boys or UGK? Oh, Ghetto Boys all day, man. But I fucks with UGK. My favorite album from UGK is Super Tight from '94. That's a really dope album. I really enjoyed that album. That was pretty dope. Well, recipe to Pimp C, man. Any more questions, people? Oh, here's one. What do you think of the HNIC 2 album? Very slept on, very underrated, man. In fact, let me see. I got it right here. Something right here, man. HNIC 2. This is the collector's edition, the 10 joint that comes with it comes with the actual album, the full length album. It comes with the DVD, and it comes with the commentary, like talks about like the making of the album. You know what I mean? So definitely had to get my hands on that. But I want to get the original version, the regular retail version. But that goes for that's out of print too. All right. But yeah, HNIC 2, that's very slept on, and a lot of people don't talk about that album, man. But P was definitely spit on that shit. Edgar says, whose discovery do you prefer, DMX or Lord Finesse? As much as I love Lord Finesse, I'm gonna have to go with DMX, man. Like his first four albums, oh my god, fucking classics in my opinion. Shit, It's Dark Hell is Hot. You can't go wrong with that. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and there was X and Great Depression. And Great Depression is very slept on. A lot of people sleep on that album. You know what I mean? Very, very, very dope album. But Lord Finesse, you can't go wrong with Lord Finesse. By the way, Edgar, if you haven't peeped it, check out his SB 1200 project album that came out in 2014. It's pretty much all his beats that he's done around the Awakening era, like unreleased beats, man, like instrumentals, fucking dope, son. Yeah, fucking dope. UGK Super Tight is my favorite too, and my favorite tracks from the album is Feds in Town and Protect and Serve. Yeah, very dope. Very dope. Crunchy says only by a bit. UGK edges M out though. It's tough. You can't go wrong with either. Both made us be taken, been taken serious. Texas that is word. Top five rap double albums. I got Life After Death, All Eyes on Me, Art of War, Speaker Box, Love Below, Wu-Tang Forever. It's kind of hard, man, because I don't really like a lot of double disc albums. To be real with you. Um, just out of that, I like Wu Tang Forever, Art of War. Um, The Life After Death was cool. Um, I like Esham's Judgment Day album, even though that was sold separately. But I love that. But I love that album though, man. Very slept on. Trying to see what else. That's all I can think of for now. Oh, and I like oh, what's that album? Are You Still Down by Tupac. That was pretty dope. Edgar says, yeah, man, I definitely agree. UGK always put out high quality material as well as Ghetto Boys. Oh, most definitely, definitely. I just like Ghetto Boys more because of I like the production, love the dark. I like the dark sounds and shit. You know what I mean? Even the solo albums from them is like phenomenal. Like Bushwick Bill's first two albums, this his solo joints, Little Big Man and Phantom of the Rapper. Scarface solo albums. I mean, you can't go wrong with them shits. Ashton says, and the most surprising part is Pimp C died on my birthday. Holy shit, that's crazy. Super Old School says, that SP project is too dope. Yeah, that shit is fucking fire, man. I love that joint. Like I said, if you guys like Lord Finesse's The Awakening album, then you would like the SP 1200 project. That shit is dope. Super Old School said, what's your opinion on St. Ides? I'm sipping on that right now. Damn, you lucky bastard. That shit is good. That shit tastes just like Oli. I was shocked, but that shit is good. That shit is mad good. Super Old School said, I was just thinking about Judgment Day. Hello, yeah, dope out. Very slept on. I need to get disc two. Only have disc one. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna check that out because Lord Finesse is one of the best. Thanks for letting me know about that. I love that gritty East Coast DITC production. Yeah, then you would love that album. That SP 1200 project is dope. Johnny says All Eyes on Me is overhyped in my opinion. I agree with that. I like the album. It had a couple of decent joints, but it's nothing to write home about. I prefer, you know, Tupac's first three albums, including the Thug Life album. Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas, Me Against the World, Thug Life. I love those albums. Love the production on that album, on those albums. Excuse me. Oh shit. Edgar says, if you had to recommend five dancehall records to get someone into the genre, who's new to it, what five would you recommend? That's a dope question. Album wise, um, I would say Beanie Man's Maestro album that came out in '96. That was pretty dope. Bounty Killer's My Experience from '96. Um, Buju Banton with Till Shiloh. What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, Terra Fabulous, Yaga Yaga from '94. Um, and another one. What could I think of? Um, oh, Cableton from 1995, Prophecy or More Fire. Yeah, yeah, you can't go wrong with them shits, man. That's for you, Edgar. So again, yeah. So again, like I said, that was Beanie Man with Maestro in '96, Bounty Killer with My Experience, um, Buju Banton with Till Shiloh. By the way, he's coming out I think next month, so free Buju. What else I said? Terra Fabulous with Yaga Yaga from 1994, and what else did I say? Then this just had it too. Oh, Cableton, Prophecy, or his more fire album. Yeah, the best Tupac album is arguably his best Machiavelli shit lyrically, but in terms of quality, maybe Me Against the World. I don't know, man. I prefer Me Against the World. I think Me Against the World shits on Machiavelli, but that's just my opinion. But I respect your opinion, though. Definitely respect that. I just feel like like All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli. They were, those were rushed albums in my opinion. But that's just me, though. All right. Um, hey guys, who's the sky we prefer? You prefer Nas or Cormega? I'm about to go with Cormega, man. His he's never put out a whack album. As much as I love Nas, I think Nas has put out some shaky albums. You know, them being Street Disciple, the Nigga album, um, Hip Hop is Dead. I wasn't too keen on those albums. And yes, I do like Nostradamus. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. Nas I Am, that's a fucking dope album. People hate on that album. Um, it was written as fucking dope. Illmatic is a masterpiece. I mean, you can't go wrong with those albums, man. But yeah, definitely Street Disciple, Hip Hop is Dead, the Nigga album or the N album. There's some relatives I wasn't too crazy about. Um, who else? Oh, the new Nasir album. I don't know. That was kind of in my opinion, man. You know what I mean? Or I should say EP, but everybody's calling it an album, even though it has 7 tracks and it's like under 30 minutes. But yeah, Cormega, you can't go wrong with Cormega, man. He has never put out a whack album, man. I mean, Cormega, man, with the realness, true meaning, um, Legal Hustle. Even though Legal Hustle is a compilation album, it's not really an album; it's a compilation album. Um, Who Am I? The soundtrack to the documentary. I highly recommend you guys check that out. The document Who Am I that dropped in '07. It chronicles. It's like a 3.5 to a 4 hour um documentary that chronicles Cormega, from 2001 to 2005. It's pretty dope. So it shows like the making of the Realness album. Well, not really the making, but like around those times, like, the Realness, True Meaning, Legal Hustle and stuff like that is really dope. So you see Cormega with the braids and shit, back in the day and stuff like that. So it's really, really dope, man. I really enjoyed that. The Born and Raised album from '09, that was pretty dope. Mega Philosophy, that shit is so fucking dope, man. I really, really love that album. That's produced by Lost Professor. That album, I feel like a lot of black people need to listen to that album, especially for today. It came out in 2014, but that shit is dope. And I love that Cormega went on Dead End Hip Hop and he called out Beezy. Um, yeah, Beezy for calling him preachy, and then he's like, "What do you mean by preachy?" And then Beezy couldn't fucking talk. He's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he couldn't even talk and shit. So, but whatever. Uh, let's see. Edgar says, "Whose discography do you prefer, Jay Z or Memphis Bleak?" Jay Z all day, man. I love Memphis Bleak's first two albums, but they're not even touching anything on Jay Z's discography. But I do fuck with Memphis Bleak, especially his first two albums, man. Coming of Age and The Understanding, whoo, fire. You know, Jay Z, fucking his discography is crazy. Even though his is kind of shaky too, you know, but he got some joints on that album, like Reasonable Doubt, Volume Two, Hard Knock Life, which a lot of people hate on for some reason. I don't know why. The Dynasty, Blueprint, um, American Gangster. You can't go wrong with those albums, man. Crunchy says, have you heard Straight from the Streets album by Sean T? He was a Bay Area MC. It's a dope album. Now I haven't heard that album. I gotta check that out. Uh, yeah, Mega has put out no shaky albums. Yeah, I agree. PJ says take two songs of I Am and it's a bomb. I would like to know what songs. I could agree with Dr. Knockboot. I don't like that song that had no place on that album. I think Dr. Knockboot, even Nas himself said they didn't like that. He didn't like that song. So Crunchy says Nazir was like a mixtape to me. Yeah, it definitely felt like a mixtape. Um Sinha says opinions on MF Doom and his albums. I've mentioned MF Doom before. But my opinion, I feel like he's talented. He's cool, but a bit overrated in my opinion. My favorite albums from MF Doom, like I said, was Operation Doomsday, Vaudeville Villain, Venomous Villain, and Born Like This. Those are my favorite albums from him. This is my opinion. I'm more of a fan of KMD Doom when he was Zevlov X, you know, Mr. Hood and Black Bastards, which I need to get my hands on. I have Mr. Hood, but I don't have Black Bastards, so I need to get that. Johnny says, I gotta go feed the kids. I charged my phone. See y'all later. All right, Johnny, thank you for the questions, man. Take care of your family. Your family comes first at the end of the day, man. Super old schools. What is it with rappers that came out in the 80s and 90s having very whack beats on their albums nowadays, except for example, KRS One, Esham, Public Enemy, Paris. Yeah, you know what it is, man. It's just that it's all about who they work with, man. It's like like for example, like with KRS One, man, like he gets a lot of like European producers, and there's nothing wrong with European producers, but it's like also like samples too that you gotta think about. Esham, yeah, I don't know, man. After like Tongues, I kind of checked out for Esham. My opinion, Public Enemy, they're very hit and miss when it comes to albums, man. My favorite albums of Public Enemy, honestly, is Apocalypse 91, which I think is very slept on. A lot of people sleep on that album because a lot of people sleep on Apocalypse 91 is because I think at that time they kind of broke away from what's from uh the Bomb Squad. They broke away from Bomb Squad and shit. And yeah, they broke away from Bomb Squad, and they started working with like more affiliates of the Bomb Squad, like Gary G. Wiz and stuff like. Even though he was part of the Bomb Squad, but you know, I forgot the name of the. I think it's the Incredible Wizards of. I forgot the name of the group, but it was still dope. It still had that Bomb Squad sound, and even the what's the album? Music in Our Message that came out in '97. That was pretty dope. I really enjoyed that. But nowadays, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It's just I think it's them trying to save money on production. Especially like sample bass and stuff like that. Them trying to start sound with the times and stuff like that. It just doesn't work for everybody. But and not everybody could choose dope beats. That's the thing. So, KRS One's discography is very shaky too. You know, Paris. Oh my god, like his first two albums are fucking dope. Um, Sleeping with the Enemy, The Devil Made Me Do It. I mean, you can't go wrong with those albums, man. I mean, those are fucking dope. But yeah, it's just all about and I think Paris he makes his own beats too. So again, it's just all about people trying to fit in with the times and stuff. So that's just what it is with that. Um, let's see. Edgar asks, "Whose discovery do you prefer, the Roots or Jedi Mind Tricks?" Um, Good question. As crazy this might sound, I guess Jedi Mind Tricks. Although I'm not crazy about all the albums, like my favorite albums from them are oh, what's that album? The Psychosocial album from '97 and the Violent by Design album that came out in 2000. That was my introduction to Jedi Mind Tricks. And if you compare in if you can include the Vinny Paz solo albums, then yeah, I would say Jedi Mind Tricks. But the Roots definitely got a dope discography. My favorite albums from the Roots. I like the Organics album. Do You Want More? Um, I love Ill Duff Half Life. I think that's the best album. And I like Game Theory. Game Theory is fucking dope. And the album I think came out in '08, Rising Down. That was pretty dope too. PZ says Dr. Nagbu and Kissing. You didn't like Kiss? You didn't like Kissing? That was dope. I love Kissing, man. Kissing was dope, man. Him rapping over the when a woman R. Kelly's When a Woman's Fed Up. I thought that was pretty dope. Moni was good. Was good. Peace, Queen. Good to see everything is good with you. Definitely. Edgar says, whose discovery do you prefer, Brand Nubian De La Soul? I would have to say Brand Nubian for me. I would have to say that because De La Soul, in my opinion, I think they only had like good four albums, honestly, and those albums were De La Soul is Dead. Um, Balloon Mind State was very underrated. De La Soul is Dead is underrated. Stakes is High. Love that album. Need to get my hands on that. And Grind Date. Those are my four favorite albums from De La Soul. Everything else is kind of shaky, in my opinion. Brand Nubian. I mean, I loved it. I love Brand Nubian's music, man. One for All. I did, and by the way, I did a review on all the albums, so check them out. Brand, Ego when you get a chance. But One for All and God We Trust was my favorite album from them. Everything is Everything, which was kind of shaky in my opinion. Foundation was kind of shaky too. It was cool, but could have been better. Fire in the Hole, and an album they dropped called Time Is Running Out, which was the original version of Foundation, but they had to redo the album because it was bound to be too. It was too dark for Arista Records. You know what I mean? And that's how Foundation came about. You know, but yeah. Love that album. Love Brand Nubian, man. Shout out to Reg that saw and met Brand Nubian perform. So I thought that was pretty dope. Crunchy says if Chris gonna work with overseas producers, he should work with Snow Goons. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. But I personally think he should work with his brother Kenny Parker, man. That BDP album he dropped back in 2011, 2012 was dope. It could have been better, but I know like Kenny Parker definitely deserves more placements, man. That nigga's nice, man. That nigga's dope. PJ says Lords of the Underground or Black Moon. Black Moon all day. But Lords of the Underground, their first two albums are fire. Crunchy says De La Soul by Country Mountain, no disrespect. Oh, none taken. None taken. None taken. I just feel like Brand Nubian had like a better production wise. They had a better sound in my opinion. You know, that's just my opinion. Ashton says a future without a past, or excuse me, or time by LONS, meaning leaders of the new school. I'm gonna have to go with time. I love that album. The End of Mind's Eye, very, very, very dope album. Very slept on. That's an album that a lot of people hate on. I love how dark and gritty that album is, and that's when they start making their own beats. You know what I mean? Because I know Dante Ross himself said he didn't like that album, but he said that album was whack. But but that time album is just so fucking dope, man. I really enjoyed that joint. Um, What's next? Um, Spontaneous MCs was like a 13 MCs rapping, classic material. I mean, shit, that whole album is fucking dope. But Future Without a Past is dope too. I got to do a review on that album eventually. Class of the PTA, Sound of the Zekas, which was it was Rumpelstiltskin's first appearance on Wax. You know what I mean? Who are affiliates of Leaders in the New School. Shit like that. Monio School says, I agree about what you said about PE's, both this PE's discography as well as Kara's one's discography. Yeah, man, like, they're very shaky, especially Public Enemy, when they dropped that album, There's a Poison Going On, like, that was a very, very weird album, man. Like, oh, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that album, but that was trash. Um, yeah, Ill Def Half Life is classic, man. Yeah, definitely classic album. Super old school. What is the most samples used in one of your beats? Um. Fuck. I forgot the name of it at the top of my head, but one of them is Oh, what's that song? It's by Francis Lay. It's the same beat that MOP used for Lifestyles of the Ghetto Child of the second album. What that album? Firing Squad, Lifestyles of the Ghetto Child. That sample that they use. That's like one of the most samples I've used. Crunchy says I've said this before already, but the last whole album was some trash in my opinion. It put me to sleep and it was too different. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely trash because you can't because they can't blame anybody but themselves because they did the production themselves and not to say that like they make whack beats, but it's like they try to be too abstract and it didn't work for them. They try to do like live instrumentation and not use as much samples and it just didn't work for them. That's just my opinion. PJ says, "My bad, bro. I'm thinking of Big Things, not Kissing." Yeah, yeah. Big Things was kind of eh. All right, I'm gonna answer Crunchy Sopa's last question, and then I'm gonna head out. He says, "Living like hustlers or in gas we trust." Ooh, that's a dope question, man. Because I have in gas we trust right now. Yeah, dope album, man. Um, wow. I'm gonna have to say Living Like Hustlers, man, because it was way ahead of its time. Definitely. Uh, Crunchy says Living Like no, I'm sorry. Super Old School says, "What is your idea of an overproduced beat?" I heard that term thrown around some in some circles. My 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 definition of overproduced beats like when people put too much instruments into everything. It's like they put like you have a dope sample, but then you want to add like synths and add like guitars and you want to add like live instruments to a beat, especially a sample beat. And it's like it's too much. Like just let the shit breathe, yo. I could understand if you add like the bass line, you play out a bass line for that beat or whatever. Okay, fine. But if it's like a dope loop or a dope sample, dope chop, you don't have to add too much instruments to it. That's just my personal opinion. Um, That's just my thoughts on overproduced producers. I'm gonna answer these last two questions, these last couple questions, and I'm gonna head out. Um, Edgar asks, "What do you prefer the first? What do you prefer the first two Black Moon albums or the first two Smith and Wesson albums?" Um, that's a dope question because I like both albums too. I do like Black Moon's Enter the Stage, obviously, and I even like the Warzone album. A lot of people hate on the Warzone album. Smith and Wesson, The Shining, and even when they were the Cocoa Brothers. Um, uh, all right, PJ, peace, man. Thanks for the questions, man. Detroit, man. Peace to Detroit. To answer your question, Edgar, I probably have to say Black Moon, but I love the Smith and Wesson. I love the Smith and Wesson albums, though, man. I love that. Spice One has been disrespectfully slept on. Self-titled 187 he wrote. American Nightmares are all classic. Yeah, I love those albums, man. Love those albums. Even his night, even his 1996 and Black Bossellini album. Those are my favorite albums. Love those albums, man. Um, Edgar. This is gonna be the last question I'm gonna answer. Then I'm gonna head out. Edgar asks, "What do you prefer, the first two Helter Skelter albums or the first two OGC albums?" I'm about to say the first two OGC albums, man. That album, those albums are fucking phenomenal, man. Um, very, very, very dope, very underrated. I know a lot of people hate on Original Gun Clapper's second album, Empire Strikes Back, but I fucking love that album. I think it shits on Magnum Force by the Helter Skelter. You know, because it's funny because me, Kill, and the rest of the Speaker Cloud podcast, we was talking like ranking the albums of like the first four Duck Down Records albums. Yeah, Crunch, yeah, I'm out. I'm almost out. Peace to you, man. Like I said, we was ranking the first four Duck Down releases and stuff like that, and we was just talking about what Helter Skelter with Magnum Force. I was talking about how Sean P he kind of wanted a different sound for Magnum Force because he didn't want to be typecasted as using like sample bass and samples and filtered bass and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they was kind of using like more live instrumentation with the second album, but I prefer their first album. You know what I mean? But the OGC album, Empire Strikes Back, man, love that album, man. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace to Reg, you know what I mean? Shout out to him, man. It's his birthday. Salute to him. Subscribe to his channel. Click the bell button so anytime you upload a video or goes live, you'll get the notification. Alright, peeps. Y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Peace.